Welcome back to the channel. Subscribe to the channel if you already not. Like this video, man. Comment down below and let me know where you guys from. Let's get right into it, man. So the whole thing with Boosie selling the cars and all that, he just had to get rid of a couple things, man. He's already got a lot of stuff on his book, like the movie. He's got to pay for that. I mean, he just lost 70K. He had the whole situation with the truck at No Jumper. So it's like, that's really makes sense now. Now you look back at it and it's like, okay, now I understand why Boosie's selling some of the cars. And then not only that, but he still had to come up with a lot of money for other things too. Don't forget the fact that there was something out there going around about $1 million in 48 hours, something like that. And then anything from the concerts, him just missing out on stuff. You know, there's a couple shows that actually got shut down and there's a couple shows that got canceled. And so, you know, it could have been from many different things. What Boosie has said, maybe even from the Duke the Jeweler situation and stuff. Because a lot of the OGs, they really are paying close attention to everything moving forward and everything, keeping their head on a swivel with this whole situation. And so now that he done got rid of a couple of his cars, he told Tootie Rod, he said, look, you can't keep running the Bentleys out of gas. You can't keep roughing up the cars because of the fact that if he has to get rid of it again, or if he has to go get a value on it or something like that appraised, then it's got to be in good condition. It's got to be in good shape, because anything you buy, if it gets in bad condition, and then it's going to be worth less money. You guys know that. Everybody should understand that. You got to take care of this stuff too. And so, but you know, Tootie Rod's young. And so Boosie's still trying to teach him that, still trying to show him the game of how you're supposed to manage and how you're supposed to handle everything. And so, but the thing is that, man, that's a lot of money that was on the table. It's a lot of money left on that table. 400K for that car. I mean, if you really think about it, they should have been able to get that back if they had pretty much, like, if they put that in the music video or something, it was a big hit. And like they looked back at it and said, no, that's in that one Boosie music video, or maybe it was a feature with somebody, or they could have put it in the movie and it would have actually made the car that they sold way more valuable, to where they could have actually got their money back, if not some more. Like, everybody knows about how the Tupac, the BMW, Suge Knight's BMW, or the one that Tupac was riding in, they trying to sell that at the pawn shops, the Pawn Stars guys, for over $1 million. And so what you guys got to understand is that pretty much that could have been where, if Boosie would have, to get more money on that car, he could have did something where it was like in a movie, a part of some type of art thing. And so that way it gets more value. And so it's because you got to think outside the box. You got to be creative when it comes to trying to catch up on the money, trying to get the bread up. Because if he really needed that meal in 48 hours, then he would have had to do some tricks up his sleeve to be able to pull that off, because not a lot of people can pull that off. He had to have contacted every single one of his resources and was like, hey, what can you do? This is what I got. What's up? What can you do to help? And people pitched in. He probably was able to squander up and round up a lot, man, just off the muscle of hitting up all the resources, a lot of people. So like, it just goes to show, if you got a tight knit group, or if you got a circle of people that you could pretty much, investors, like Boosie had to hit up his investors and everything to get the movie going, to get the meal 48 hours, to fund pretty much the whole projects that he's been having go on this entire 2022 year. Like, you guys have to realize that, I mean, because of the fact that some of his shows were no longer scheduled and that got taken off and canceled, like, he's missing out on the bread for that. Just because you get booked for a show, you actually have to show up. The show has to be done 100% for him to be able to get the back end money. So all the shows that happen, the front end money that they booked and put into basically put in the escrow for him to show up, they took it back out. They had to refund it, because once they canceled the show, he was not going to show up anymore, obviously. So then there was no point. So he had other things to do to basically come up with that money. And now he promoting that movie, and once that movie hits out, he's hoping a lot of people go and watch it. That way he could run his bag up again. But in the meantime, he had to do what he had to do and sell what he had to sell, lighten his load, be able to pretty much move on with his project, get the money right and everything budgeted, you know what I mean? So especially right now, where it's about to be a time where everybody's about to be shopping, getting gifts, and, you know, it's a big family and they're expecting a lot out of Boosie, because when birthdays come around, when holidays come around, everybody looking at Boosie like, are you going to get me a gift, or can you get me money? Can you just get me the cash, or make sure it's a gift receipt so I could take it back and get the cash? Everybody's looking at Boosie as the provider. So when it comes around, especially around this time of year, they all standing there like they're trying to basically get their gift. They're trying to get their hand out, see how much Boosie's going to throw this year, right? Last year he gave them this much, or like somebody could pop up and say, oh, last year Boosie gave me 10K for my gift. Is he going to give me another 10K this year? We're going to find out. So a lot of people are sitting there and they just waiting on Boosie to come through and save the day with the cash. That's why they staying around his entourage. That's why they staying loyal to Boosie, because these type of things happen when birthdays, holidays, all the gifts. It's nice, you know. That's why a lot of people, rappers, celebrities, famous people, they have all these friends who are happy to be around when the gifts and the money's good and everything is coming in, and you're able to just, you know, cover this bill and cover that bill, and it's going to be on your tab when you go to the club. It's going to be on your tab at the bar, right? And then all of a sudden, if anything gets dried up or anything is short, money is slim, right? Then all them people flock, man. It's like vultures. You got to watch out for that, bro. It's like when they see, you know, when they see somebody, right, and they shining or whatever, seeing an opportunity, yeah, they're going to flock to them. But then after it's done, after everything is basically over with, then they're just going to fly away and let the people deal with the problem. So that's one thing that people have to watch out for, is you can't be around no vultures and stuff like that. A lot of people are taking advantage of people. It's just about being smart, man. You can't trust a lot of people, so just always stay vigilant, man. Always stay, you know, ready, be it one step ahead of everything. So that's something that y'all could learn from. It's a good lesson. And so other than that, man, the whole situation now is like, okay, everybody's counting on Boosie. Hopefully that this movie ends up being good, because it's people who are saying right now that there's some people that might not have got paid from the movie, and it's not 100% sure whether that's a fact or not, but that's what people are saying. And so we have to go and see and keep an eye on what happens, right? Is this movie going to end up doing good for Boosie? Is they going to raise up a lot of money from whatever, you know, the sponsors and all the things that the movie revenue is going to bring in? And if it does bring in a lot, is it going to be a fair, even payout to all the people, all the actors? Is it going to be exactly what they asked for? So we're going to find out. I'm going to stay tuned to this. It's going to be more big updates. We're going to try to figure out who's in the movie, see how everything's working. Are they happy with the whole situation? Because, as you know, you never know. And a lot of people say things. And so you have to find out whether that's get to the bottom of it, right? And so that's what Boosie's banking on, is hoping that movie does good. So are a lot of people around him, because if that movie doesn't do good, and when it comes to the time to hand out the gifts and all that, it might not be what they expected. And then that's when people will start to switch up, and he gonna start to realize who was really there for the money, who was really there to get the gifts, and who's there no matter what. So that's something that, you know, we're going to find out soon. So make sure you stay tuned and come back for the breaking news update. I'm going to catch you on the next video. Take care.